Hi everybody, it's Andrea, and I just want to take a minute to show you the remote monitoring equipment in case you have a patient on monitoring and they have a question about their equipment. When we send the device out to the patient, we get all of their information and decide what tools they need, and it is usually going to consist of a blood pressure cuff. It's going to consist of an oximeter. Many times it will have a scale, and then sometimes we're also tracking blood glucose. We don't send out a blood glucose meter, but there's a way for them to enter the data manually, and then they get a tablet. Inside, and they need to keep the box. The box needs to be kept inside the box. When they find the equipment that they're going to use, like for example, the blood pressure cuff is going to come not put together. They need the ability to be able to have a pediatric or a bariatric cuff. But we order in advance what size is necessary for them. So if it's ever wrong, reach out and let me know. Inside the box, aside from all the pretty bubble wrap and everything, there's going to be a long rectangle white box. And inside that white box is going to be the replacement batteries. All of these items have battery needs, and when the batteries are not functioning, then we have replacement batteries for everything in there. Also in there are the cords, and this is not going to do it for me. The cords, and there's two little white pieces of paper. Don't throw them out. Those little white pieces of paper, this box, want to save it. Everything in it, we're going to just stick it back in the box when it's time for it to go back. And they don't have to package it pretty, but they do need to put it back in that box. And I can send UPS out just to pick it up for them. Of course, as a clinician, if you want to, you can aid them in packaging it up, and I can call UPS, or you can pick it up and take it to a local office. The thing is, we don't want extra work for you. So in the event that the patient, needs extra assistance, it's nice if you're able to help them, but don't feel required. But those two pieces of paper, when it's time to package everything back up, they're little white squares, but they actually have small circular stickers that will seal the box up and meet the UPS guidelines for shipment. So just tell them, don't throw anything away, keep it in there. And then when the tablet is first having service initiated, so they take everything out of the box, first thing I tell my patients to do, pick up the phone and call the number that's on the paperwork. It's either 800 or 888. Call them, because if they have had time to open the box and they're sitting there looking at stuff now, it'll take them 5 minutes with their tech support team to go through the initiation and connection of the service. But otherwise, they have to wait. Now HRS verifies with UPS it has been delivered, and then they'll reach out to them from an unknown number and call them and end up leaving them messages. And it ends up taking longer for the patient to get connected, and many parties can get frustrated, more often the patients. So I tell them, open that box up, pick up that paperwork, and call. And then that tech support team will walk them through the setup, which is fairly simple. It's going to involve, in the tablet, you guys, it's important to know about the tablet. It's a Samsung Galaxy. It has an on-off button. These look like they should do volume control, but they don't. Our volume we set from a central location, but the biggest thing is at the end, it has a flap that covers the plug, and the device has to stay plugged in order to keep the battery charged. And it comes with they're issuing two really long and more flexible cords now to help satisfy patients' needs for being able to move the tablet about. It also has a kickstand on the back. For example, if they're watching videos, most of the new tablets now have it a little bit different. This tablet is one of our older ones, and I'll be honest with you, as we go through it, it is a little bit used and abused. So they can watch the videos if there's videos associated with it, and I'm working on creating our own learning material as well as having their company's learning material available. But those are all kind of components of the tablet. Biggest thing, make sure they keep it, there it is, plugged in. And so now they've contacted the company, and the company is going to guide them into turning it on. Now, I've already turned this one on so it won't go through all the long screens which say hello and then Hold On, and then HRS, and then Verizon and such. We set it up to go over cellular data. But when they first turn it on, it's not going to look like this. It's actually going to have a screen that is the consent for participation. And there's a next button, and when you click the next, whoops, no, not what I wanted. When you click next, it will take you to the next page, and then when you click next, it takes you to a signature box for the consent, and that is where it looks just like our Kinzer verified visits, and they just sign on the screen, and once that's done, then it takes them to their metrics page. Now, I've already played with this one because my video has messed up a number of times, so when they first get it, these are not going to be check marks. These are going to be red exclamation points. And that means that data has not been checked on today. So this device should be kept within 20 feet of all of the devices in order for the measurements to be picked up by the tablet and then ultimately sent to me. But let's just say your patient sleeps upstairs and we have them weigh themselves after they first wake up in the morning, before they've changed clothes, and just after they go to the bathroom. Well, if their scale needs to be upstairs, then they don't have to have this. They can enter it manually. Okay, so I'm going to start my measurements, and it slides around, I'm sorry. When they're using the pulse ox, it feels a little clunky, you guys, and sometimes this gets a little wiggly and disengaged. It's because it's got Bluetooth in it, and that's why it's a little odd. And the other thing is, usually we put pulse oxes on this way. This one wants to go this way. And so when I put that on, it's going to pick up my data, and then when it gives me a check mark on the device, it means it's done, and it's going to send it to the tablet.
Oxygen level 96%, heart rate 104 BPM.
And they submit it. And so it changes it to a check mark. If they are dealing with maybe they're monitoring their blood glucose, they're going to have to enter that manually. Or maybe they don't like my blood pressure cuff. Maybe they want to use their own blood pressure cuff, or their scale is upstairs or something. There is always a manual entry. And so they click on that metric, and then they tap on manual, and then I have no depth perception here. They type in the information. Stop it. Oh, next, sorry. And it will send it to the home screen, ultimately sending it to me. And same with any other metrics, they can always enter their own. Now, if their disease process has education material, and I just want to show you this, they tap on education and you'll see videos, quizzes, and files. Most often, if their disease process is one that we've purchased the videos for, the videos will be available here, and there may be files that are helpful. Not all disease processes are going to have education, and honestly, that's some of the role that I'm in, both creating learning material to go on this device from our perspective and our physician's perspective, but also having phone conversations with them and giving them education so they don't have to sit and watch a video. And it does come in English and Spanish. But it's important to know about the files for CHF and COPD. Those two diagnoses, and I have turned off the survey on this device. This is a test device. It's old and beat up. But when we complete the survey, I'm looking for symptoms associated with the numbers. And so they go through and answer the questions on the survey. And one of them asks them, what zone are you in? And so it's not going to work on this one because I've disengaged it. But there's a CHF zone tool that they would open up, and it would show the red, yellow, green options. So we have that available in paper format, and it makes it a lot easier for the patient. Now, see the call button here? So if they push that and they hit clinician call, it's going to go to our office. If they try a video call, and I do a lot of video chatting with people, kind of explaining things, giving them a face, and then giving them some descriptions that have a visual component to it. That has to be prearranged, and I usually initiate that with them. If they try and do it, it's just going to fail. But they can text. Now, this is not a text that's going to result in a bunch of ping, ping, ping notices on my phone. But what it will do is send me a notice on the computer system so that when I look, I see it, a little alert, and I'll go in and read it. So it's never to be used for anything urgent. So that's the home button and the education button, and we can work with their data manually. For volume control and things like that in the settings section, we can do that centrally. Now, people have said, oh, well, I can only see today, I can't see the past. And that's inaccurate, because if you click on that measurement, it's going to show you. You can scroll through by date and look at the different metrics. But if you need that data in a written format, I'll send it to you. Just message me that you need some information. What's their weight's been? What's their this been? What's their that's been? And I will send to you what you're asking for. We also fax it to doctors and such. So at the end of all of this, when this is finished, it's valuable to help the patient, if we can, put it back in the original box. And it doesn't have to be pretty, but packaging all the items back in the original box and taking those 2 stickers out and sealing the box so that I can just send UPS out to pick it up from them. Keeps it easy. Sometimes the patient needs help with it, sometimes they don't. And sometimes clinicians are, willing to take it and pick it up and bring it to an office, but we really don't want to make a lot of extra work for you. But if that's something that you're going to do, please reach out and let me know so that we know where to go to get the equipment for sending it back to the HRS company. So that's just kind of an overview, again, of the equipment. It's designed for easy use, and sometimes there are glitches. For example, like sometimes Cambria, for example, or Santa Barbara has some spotty cellular service, and this is connected via Verizon Cell. If it's disconnecting from cellular, it's going to disconnect from the system, and we may need to enable Wi-Fi. And if that happens, then we need to have the company reach out to them. So if somebody's having trouble with something, you can always reach out to me, and I know what the next best step is, but sometimes that step has to come from them, and I can at least guide them in that manner. So that's just pretty much all of the equipment. It's very simple. We keep it easy, and we only expect measurements from patients when they're able, although daily and or more frequently, give me better pieces of information. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.